Okay, so as somebody that has gone through a high conflict custody battle and has been in and out of the courtroom for the last 9 years, I want to share a few things to remember when you're in the courtroom in front of a judge. So, something to remember is judges are definitely judging a lot more than you think. They're not just taking a look at your case and reading the paper trail of what you both have to say about one another. They are looking at so many other things in the courtroom, and this advice alone can either help or hurt how the judge is going to decide. Obviously, I can't speak for all judges, but this is just based off of my experience in the courtroom and the advice that has been given to me from being represented all 9 years by an attorney. So I obviously have been in and out of the courtroom for over the course of 9 years. I'm very familiar with court. So I want to share just what my attorney has told me in terms of how you need to behave in the courtroom, what you need to wear in the courtroom, and just your overall demeanor within the court setting. One thing that you can guarantee is that the narcissist parent is going to show up as a completely different person. So this is how they operate in life in general is when they want to impress or they want to put on a show for whoever it is that they are trying to put a show on for, they are extremely good at this. So this is where you need to play their game the exact same way, if not better, in order to get what you need across in the courtroom without the distractions of the behavior of the narcissist. And something to remember is that because if you are not a narcissist, you have normal human reactions to the things that you're hearing and seeing. It is normal in a regular setting to be shocked and have that written on your face. However, in the courtroom, this is where you need to be hyper aware of your behavior in front of a judge. So the judges are looking at a lot more than just what is on paper and the file that has been placed in front of them. They are looking at whether you are doing eye rolls at the other parent, whether you are just answering a question in a cool, calm, collected demeanor, or if you are going on a rant for 10 minutes about whatever has been asked. If you're represented, usually your attorney is the one who's going to direct the way that the conversation goes. And so, in my experience, they ask questions, I answer them, and there's based off of the amount of time that you have, which even if it's a 3-hour hearing, you think a 3-hour hearing sounds like a really long time. It goes by so fast. So you have limited time to get all your points across, especially if you are in a high conflict custody battle like I've been the last 9 years. So you need to control your reactions when you witness the other parent lying, whether you witness the other parent coming up with a false allegation against you, a false story. You need to almost be robotic in the courtroom. So keep your composure, stay calm, and really stay focused on getting your point across. And your focus needs to always be on the fact that you are there for the children. The judges can pick up so quickly on who the vindictive parent is being. If you're coming across as somebody who is just trying to make the other person's life a living hell and you're not coming from a place of what's in the best interest of the children, they can pick up on the toxic parent. They also read how you communicate with emails. If you're constantly putting them down or if you're constantly just being like negative or rude or condescending, your tone within the emails is something else that they're looking at. They're looking to see which parent is following court orders, which parent is being reasonable in their decisions with the child, which parent is actually trying to co-parent, and which parent is just determined to not co-parent at all. All of these are things that they are looking at. So all your communication with the other parent, this is why I say it's so important to be emotionless and almost cold in a sense, because you need to have all of your documentation also working for you in the courtroom, because they are looking at this. You need to just stick with the court order and don't get your emotions involved. Go and do that outside of your court order. Go and have a drink with a friend. Go and have lunch with your mom and vent all you need. But when it comes to dealing with the co-parent, everything that you say can be used against you. Not only that, if you're going to be turning this stuff in for documentation, you need to also be reminded that how is this going to make me look in court? You need to be hyper aware of what you're wearing. If you have tattoos, I strongly suggest covering them up, cover up cleavage, anything like that, which I think is obvious, but who knows? I've seen some people in court that I don't know what they were there for, but I certainly wouldn't wear what they were wearing. Me personally, I wear my hair back in a low bun. I really I try not to wear a ton of jewelry. These are just things that, not because I don't want any focus on me and my appearance. I want to go in there and have the focus be on why we're there that day. I don't want to give the judge any reason to be looking me up and down about how I look. I want the judge looking at my documentation. I want the judge making a fair assessment about the case. Since I have been in a high conflict custody battle for over 9 years, there is so much history and so much documentation. And anytime you get a new judge, they are having to go through and look at all that. And trust me, the judges that I have had have even repeated in the courtroom, you guys are in a very high conflict custody battle. So they understand what is going on. They already know. So when you're going in there with a new separate issue, you really want them trying to make the most fair and good decision possible for your children. You guys, the system is so deeply flawed that you need to be like your own advocate. You really, if I'm fortunate enough to be able to have had representation the entire time, so I've had an attorney that has, gone over things, but this is something that I also go over in my coaching program, because if you are not represented, you are not getting legal advice, and this is some of the things that can either make or break your case. The judges are aware that the system is broken. Some of them don't care, and so this is just the way it is. Not to mention, they are trying to see who is actually telling the truth. They're trying to see who is actually the parent that is doing what's in the best interest of the children. This is why they give so many chances to people that are on drugs or to people that have abuse issues, because they are trying to figure out, is there a chance for this person to actually come out of it, to be a good parent? In my opinion, they have given way too many chances at the expense of my child's safety and well-being. When it comes to that issue, the fear that has been put in me based off of some of just the negligence of the judges that I've had, it's shocking. But you really need to just stay focused. You cannot control how the other parent is going to behave in the courtroom, but you can have the tools to know how you need to behave in the courtroom. And then on top of that, make sure that you are always of the mindset, I am here for my child. I am not here for them or any other reason. I need to get my point across for the best interest of my child. When you have that kind of a mindset, it gets to where you can kind of keep your composure when it comes to your reactions. You can keep your composure when it comes to hearing things for the first time that you've never heard that you're being falsely accused of. That other parent is coming from an evil, sadistic place. So that's where you need to show the judge that you're the calm, you're that parent that is there for your children. You're not there to be vindictive or to, make the other parent's life